It is my pleasure to introduce your current mayor, who was elected to council in 2012 and also served as mayor in 2015. He prides himself on being focused on both economic development and the preservation of our environment. Professionally, he is a managing director of investments for Wells Fargo Advisors and actively involved in the Greater Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce. He is a current member and two-time chair of the Ventura Council of Governments, a member of the Association of Ventura County Cities, and the Thousand Oaks Plan to Assist School Sites Foundation Board. He serves on numerous city committees, including the Ad Hoc Economic Development, Finance Audit, Cultural Arts Review, and the Ad Hoc Campus Master Plan. He and his wife Marilyn have twin daughters, Erica and Allison, who recently graduated from UC Santa Barbara, and have been educated in the Conejo Valley Unified School District system since kindergarten. Delivering the keynote address, your mayor, Al Adam.
Well, thank you, Tom. I am honored to be here with you today and to celebrate a year of achievements for the City of Thousand Oaks. And what a year it has been. Today, I am proud to address you virtually in the comfort and safety of your own space. 2020 has demanded so much from every one of us. The people of Thousand Oaks are not strangers to difficult and challenging times, and we've risen time and time again to every call for help, every challenge ahead of us, and have answered with strength and dignity. I would like to thank my family for their love and support. My wife Marilyn and my wonderful daughters Allison and Erica, who helped me film weekly updates from home for many weeks, and you'll see more on that later. I would also like to thank the County of Ventura for their guidance and leadership over these past 9 months. The county's response and assistance during this pandemic has been astounding, and our community is grateful for their services. I want to thank my City Council colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Claudia Bill de la Pena, Councilmember Ed Jones, and Councilmember Bob Engler. This year brought unprecedented policy decisions to our largely virtual council chambers. This City Council worked together to bring relief and assistance to our community in a time of great adversity. We spent the majority of the year down one council member, and I'm honored to welcome Dr. Kevin McNamee to the table, completing the Council of Five. I look forward to the decisions and progress we will make together in the coming years. And finally, I'd like to extend my thanks to our residents for having the confidence in me to help lead this city and maintain all that we are so proud of. It has been an honor to serve as your 56th mayor. And I would like to take a moment to look back on how 2020 both impacted and enriched our community. Of course, COVID-19 brought tremendous challenges to everyone in our city. From virtual learning to repeated business closures, this community has handled the pandemic with incredible grace and dignity. Thousands of volunteers activated immediately to help deliver meals, donate goods and funds, make masks for healthcare workers, and more. The outpouring of support and spirit of goodwill was overwhelming and helped to ensure everyone had what they needed to navigate this pandemic safely. The City of Thousand Oaks was responsive to the needs of the community from the outset, and the Council swiftly approved a measure to expand delivery hours 24/7 to grocery stores to meet the shortages our community was facing. With businesses facing shutdowns of indoor operations, Council action allowed restaurants and retailers to conduct operations outdoors, in parking lots, and on sidewalks. And in addition, the Council approved CARES fundings of $345,000 for a small business grant program that provided $10,000 grants to qualifying businesses to assist with payroll coverage and to save jobs. Expanding safe access for customers and helping to keep our small businesses operational was a top priority for the Council. In addition to small business grants, the Council approved a $1 million rental assistance program that provided 2 months of rent relief to nearly 200 families. Many families in Thousand Oaks have been financially impacted by the pandemic, which in some cases has created a precarious housing situation. And this year, people's homes have become everything: an office, a classroom, a daycare, and it is critical we do all we can to help protect that. COVID response also created the opportunity for City Hall to pivot to a business model that focused more on virtual services. Participation in City Council meetings was made easier than ever by utilizing Zoom or by simply picking up the phone. Staff has leveraged technology and tools to create a customer-focused environment, and it is now easier than ever to find property information, complete permit applications, and other commonly needed services without a trip to City Hall. Another pivot to technology, for me especially, was to regularly record and share updates with the community. As your mayor, I work continuously to provide local updates as frequently as possible through city social media and TOTV. And these updates were done on my iPhone at home with my daughters as my film crew during the early parts of the pandemic, and shifted to utilizing Zoom as well as socially distant in-person updates where possible. Highlighting local businesses who adapted to change quickly and providing important information was key. Making TV magic isn't always easy, so let's take a look at some of my finer moments in front of the camera.
Al, how's Marilyn and your girls? Are they all home? So it's all
They're home. They're all upstairs being very quiet so they don't mess up my video. Are we supposed to be this far apart, I guess, yes, because of distancing, right? Yeah. Where's my camera?
So right here.
Oh, with Carl? We could do multiple takes. They edit it and everything, you know, if we, because I get lost half the time anyway. What's my question now? What are we doing?
When you get a meal from Senior Concerns through the Meals on Wheels program, you're not just getting a meal. You're getting a community behind you to help you.
That's the way it should be. That's fantastic. I think that, hold it. Totally lost my train of thought. Hello everyone, this is Mayor Al Adam, and I'm coming to you today. Just hold it. Coming to you. Okay, got it. Hello everyone, this is Mayor Al Adam, and I am out and about in the all right, cut, hold it. Okay, I'm gonna get it, don't worry. And I am with Rusty Dussel.
Yes. I've been called worse, Al, don't worry about it.
And I'm with Chief Executive Officer Natalie Musi this evening. Cut, great, blew it. Since 1980, Amgen has been working hard to improve millions of people's lives with innovative medicines that have means. So Natalie, all right, hold on, I got it. So Natalie, if residents want to find out a little bit more in detail about the Streetscape Project Phase 1, is there somewhere on the website to go? To? What did I say last time? And to walk around and I see all the people here, I just feel right back at home again. I grew up in this mall, and so did my kids. Hold it. I didn't grow up in this mall. Well, as you can see, a good laugh can make any situation lighter, and it is easy to see that I am not quite ready for Netflix. Something else that has helped so many of us handle the stress of this year is a good book, and there is no better place to pick one of them up than our own library. Our library staff did not hesitate to be among the first in the county to build a curbside pickup service at the Grant Brimhall Library. Serving several hundred people a day, the staff has shown tremendous dedication to ensuring library access during these challenging times. Perhaps on your way to the library, you've seen some of the work our team has accomplished this year. Our Public Works Department works around the clock in many ways, and this year was no exception. You may have noticed the 46 miles of new asphalt around the city, or the beautiful stretch of Thousand Oaks Boulevard that includes enhanced crosswalks, 22 new trees, decorative planters, and a stretch of 22-foot wide sidewalk for pedestrians. This is a beautiful beginning of a downtown Thousand Oaks, and I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward to the future of this area. Within the city, perhaps our hardest hit department has been our cultural affairs. Theater is a cornerstone of Thousand Oaks culture and a centerpiece for our budding downtown, and so many of us, including myself and my family, have enjoyed dozens of live performances at the Kavli Theater. While 2020 brought those performances to a screeching halt, there was a rapid pivot by arts and culture nonprofits and our Cultural Affairs Department to provide virtual and socially distanced entertainment to help lift our spirits and bring families together. And we are optimistic that 2021 will be a bright year in the theater as the stage fills with performers and the seats are once again sat with joyful faces. We anticipate a fair amount of adaptation to what the live performance experience will look like once it reopens, but I am confident in our theater's team to bring everything to life once again. In many ways, the City of Thousand Oaks has been preparing for a year like 2020. Financial strength has always been a city priority, and this year is no exception. Through a careful process of prioritizing expenses and deeply evaluating ongoing city expenses, the city is well positioned with a balanced budget and a healthy surplus that we will use as a COVID response fund in 2021. This financial stability allows the city to continue to provide five-star service, maintain the best roads in the county, if not the state, and continually adapt to a changing environment. The city has a long record of environmental activism, including converting a large part of the city's fleet to natural gas and electric, purchasing renewable energy, utilizing biochar to conserve water in landscaped areas, and installing solar panels throughout city facilities. The city has also been a long-standing tree city, a Bee City USA, and is a certified green business city, and the key to ensuring a sustainable city that is ready to respond to climate change and to make local challenges that may seem small but can have broad long-term impacts. A key priority as mayor this year was to evaluate single-use plastics in the city, and as a result of many meetings with subject matter experts, business stakeholders in the city, and with input from the community, the council approved restrictions on polystyrene or styrofoam use within the city. With so many alternatives for sustainable single-use items, this is a step in the right direction for our city's future. Local policy and change are where we see some of the most significant impact in our daily lives, and we look forward to the future of Thousand Oaks. It is critical we develop a guide with the input and vision of our residents. We have been hard at work on our general plan update, or Thousand Oaks 2045 as it is more commonly known. This process will set the tone for the city's growth and development through 2045 and possibly beyond. It will guide the direction of many features of our city, including transportation, access to the arts and culture, protection and acquisition of open space, and perhaps most importantly, it will guide future and commercial residential projects within the city. We have a wonderfully diverse group of residents currently serving on the General Plan Advisory Committee, and these residents represent a dynamic cross-section of our population and represent the voices of their communities to weigh in on ideas and ways to improve the Thousand Oaks we know and love. While we have our dedicated General Plan Advisory members, public participation is the heartbeat of this document, and I do encourage everyone to get as involved as possible to help guide the Thousand Oaks you'd like to see for yourself, your children, and even your grandchildren. Our community is one that has seen many changes over the years. This very spot I'm standing in once was home to Jungle Land, filled with exotic animals used in Hollywood films. Some of the changes you may have seen this year include the first mixed-use project in the city, 1710 on the Boulevard. That will include residential units, retail, and restaurants. And this project is a shining example of unique and beautiful ways we can continue to add the needed housing and retail space. This addition to the city will offer spaces where residents can live, work, and play. And at 299 Thousand Oaks Boulevard, the beginnings of another well-designed and thoughtful project are paving the way for completion in 2022. Not only will this project bring much-needed housing and additional retail space, it will also include rooftop gardens and dining, and a stunning center courtyard where preserved Valley Oaks takes center stage. These projects went through extensive design and community input, utilizing valuable space in creative, functional ways. These projects help to bring much-needed housing for the extensive talent pool that our city has attracted as we have developed into a biotech hub, one that could rival any in the country. Thousand Oaks is home to a number of innovators and industry leaders in biotech, and many have been on the front lines of COVID research. These biotech companies are not only on the cutting edge of technology and development, researching and working towards curing ailments that have plagued humans for centuries, but they are also bringing millions of dollars to the industry in our city. With that type of investment from companies like Westlake Biopartners, Atara, Alexandria, and Amgen, our community will be enriched with high-paying jobs, and we warmly welcome new residents that will include scientists, support staff, and entrepreneurs to build future generations for Thousand Oaks. In order to recruit and retain new talent, it will be critical that we meet the demands of this growing sector and rise to the challenge of bringing supportive services to the Rancho Conejo area, including restaurants, hotels, and retail space. As I wrap up my comments today, I wanted to close with a call to action for the coming year. As I referenced earlier in my speech, we're in the midst of a time of great opportunity. And while it may not always seem so in our busy daily lives, we're at a critical junction as a community. We've done an amazing job building this place. In many ways, it's a model for a sustainable California city. Amazing parks, open spaces, home to a Fortune 100 biotech company, strong fiscal health, top 1% of cities in our state, world-class law enforcement services, which help us to be amongst the safest cities in the nation, and high-quality municipal services and infrastructure. In fact, this year, our Community Attitude Survey of residents provided a result of 94% rating the quality of life here as good or very good. When I chat with residents in our community, one of the most frequent refrains I hear is how much they love our quality of life in Thousand Oaks. It is, after all, why so many of us moved here in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. We were chasing that quality of life that had eroded elsewhere in our state. And in my view, true quality of life is comprised of three key ingredients: the environment, jobs, and housing. And when in balance, a vast majority of residents are able to live relatively close to their job and enjoy the natural beauty of their surroundings. Well, today there is a stark economic reality for many individuals and families in our area. They are commuting long distances for jobs, and they are unable to find entry-level or workforce housing to set roots in our community. And quite frankly, we must provide the path to prosperity that many of us were fortunate to experience when we started a few decades back. This current state of affairs has real implications for Thousand Oaks, Ventura County, and the state of California. Our freeways are clogged not because of growth per se, but because of housing and jobs imbalance. This traffic not only reduces quality of life, but it has dramatic impacts on the environment. In our passion for protecting this special place, these ingredients have become unbalanced. This evolved with the purest of intention. We raced to preserve over 15,000 acres of open space that is the envy of communities across the country. We built 60 parks and facilities across our 56 square miles. We have a growing bounty of high-wage jobs in varying sectors with more on the way, but we have become anemic in entry-level and workforce housing. The valuation of our single-family homes makes them virtually unattainable for someone in their late 20s or early 30s, the age that many of you purchased your homes. We need to address this missing middle and establish stepping stones to decent entry-level housing for our community. Housing fulfills the basic human need for shelter, contributes to our well-being and health, supports the economic vitality of our city, and is critical to help maintain the high quality of life we have come to enjoy. Now let me be very clear, I'm not talking about growth on the order of communities in the San Fernando Valley, the west side of Los Angeles, or the Silicon Valley. We need balanced growth along the 101 corridor, scaled for our city of Thousand Oaks, that will add housing and will address growing vacancies in commercial and retail properties. We also need a central gathering place at our city's core, as envisioned in the Civic Arts Plaza Campus Master Plan. Therefore, charting a course forward is going to require creativity, open minds, respect for our past, and an eye towards the future. So let's all commit to being involved in a constructive fashion as we shape the blueprint for our next 50 years. We take great pride in our quiet neighborhoods, and we feel a great sense of obligation to the roots of this city. We have the unique opportunity through the general plan update to be in the driver's seat towards the future. We can work together to keep everything that is unique and special about our city while working towards adding more affordable housing and adaptable mixed-use spaces that bring so much to a community. I am grateful for this community and the many ways you all have shown tremendous care, flexibility, and kindness with a continued commitment to supporting each other and seeking opportunities to help. We will come out on the other side of this pandemic stronger and as resilient as ever. I encourage everyone to find ways to support small businesses during this holiday season. From holiday gifts to takeout meals, remember, every little bit counts. This year our lives have been altered in ways we never imagined, but I do believe Thousand Oaks is poised for a strong and powerful recovery in 2021. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.